All right, let's compare these two. Thanks, Reneki, for recommending William and Kate's interview. But we're going to compare the two, the beginning especially. Look at this. It's crazy.
William and Kate, people are obviously incredibly curious about you. So let's start with the obvious. William, where did you propose? When, how, and Kate, what did you say?
All right, just first look at the introductions, see different. Get them.
And the actual moment of your engagement, when did it happen? How did it happen?
It happened a few weeks ago, earlier this month, here at our cottage.
The first thing, I don't know if you noticed that, but the very first thing that I saw was, to me, it looks like William and Kate are doing the interview, yes, but they look like, all right, we're doing an interview. They look like William, he has like a kind of confidence to him, but they also seem like a slight reserved shyness, whereas Harry and Meghan, they looked kind of like especially Meghan, like arrogant, like we made an accomplishment. So to me, it seems like to Meghan and Harry, right from the start, it was a little more about image, especially Meghan, like just like this look of like, yeah, we did this, or I did this, versus them looking a lot more humble, a lot more real.
William and Kate, people are obviously incredibly curious about you. So let's start with the obvious. William, where did you propose? When, how, and Kate, what did you say?
It was about 3 weeks ago on a holiday in Kenya.
Notice that difference right there. When he asked William a question about how he proposed, and then he's asking her response. She recognized the question that it's asking about the proposal, which makes sense. It's logical. William, how'd you propose? And then, Katherine, what was your response? So she looks at him to listen to his response, and then she will respond to her part, rather than what you would probably see with Meghan, which would be something like directing his response or interrupting or trying to like pre-frame his answer.
Private time away together with some friends, and I just decided that it was the right time, really. We've been talking about marriage for a while, so it wasn't a massively big surprise, but I took her up somewhere nice in Kenya and proposed.
It's very romantic.
All right, let's compare that to Harry.
Just a standard, typical night for us.
Just a cozy night. It was what we're doing, just roasting chicken
Trying to roast chicken.
Trying to roast a chicken, and it was just an amazing surprise. It was so sweet and natural.
So notice the difference, right? Harry, how did you propose to Meghan? And she's just blabbering about their typical nights, having chicken and framing everything, and just doesn't stop talking. Like, it's funny, when I go back and forth between the two, the difference is so jarring. It's like, ugh. Like, it's watching William and Katherine, it's like pleasant. I'm smiling watching it. Her, I'm like, ugh, it's like chalkboard being scratched.
Very romantic. He got on one knee.
Ugh.
Of course.
Was it an instant
What a
yes?
pitiful dweeb. You know, I don't know. Like, she's like, he got on one knee, like bragging about it. And he's like, of course. Like I don't know. He's very weak. Very, very weak. And I have a lot to say about that in a minute.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I could barely let you finish.
Yeah, no surprise there.
True romantic in that.
There is.
And you said yes, obviously.
Of course, yes, yeah.
Thankfully.
And you knew you were going to do this from day one of the holiday, or you waited till the end?
I'd been planning it for a while, but as every guy out there will know, it takes a certain amount of motivation to get yourself going. So I was planning it, and then it just felt really right out in Africa. It was beautiful at the time, and I had done a little bit of planning.
So I don't know if you noticed this, but something I really noticed, like, do you feel this sense of calmness? To me, when I jump between the two interviews, like the whole like vibe of it, even like my feeling watching it is totally different. Like the Harry and Meghan one, like it just feels a little tense, and I can't even totally put my finger on it. It's weird. It's like going like from chaos to like calm. And I think that really patterns the relationships a great deal. Theirs was very slow, whereas his was very fast. And this one was slow but real, and that was fast but fake. So you have a lot of speed and drama versus calm, real connection, I believe.
Share my romantic side.
Okay, you'd been on holiday a while, so did you see this coming? Was he getting a bit nervous and jumpy?
No, not at all, no, because we were out there with friends and things, so I really didn't expect it at all. I thought he might have sort of maybe
Compare
45.
the way they talk. Like, she's so soft-spoken and nice, and Meghan's like, yeah, it was a typical night at home, and he got on one knee. Like, just, like, horrible to listen to. And again, I very much understand William, because if your friend is dating a girl like this, you're like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're friends with William, or it's your brother, and he brings a woman like Kate, you're like, dude, like, she's awesome. Like, because you know it's going to be good for him. It's like she has this calm grace to her. Whereas I feel as a guy, when you're dating a woman like that, it's like that calmness, the kind of soft, sweet personality, like energizes you, it motivates you, you're able to do better in your life. Whereas someone like Meghan drains you. And you do see guys, like weak guys, sometimes it's weird, like who aren't too ambitious. I feel like they don't like go out and get after it in life, and then they will date a woman like Meghan, because I guess that's like becomes their stimulation, which is like the arguments or the drama, rather than like having goals and then having someone who supports them. They get like a negative relationship.
I said, can I say yes now?
She didn't even let me finish. She said, can I say yes, can I say yes now? And then there was
I just think
and I had
that's
the
so
ring.
funny. Again, jumping back and forth, you see how much she interrupts. It's like no wonder she interrupted. Like,
My finger, and I was like, can I give you the ring? She goes, oh yes, the ring. So no, it was.
also notice the difference in William and Harry's speaking. You'll like the difference in all of their speaking. William's like speaks much slower. He moves slower, and I noticed the thing is William's actually, it's hard to tell because he has a much stronger presence. He's quieter than Harry. Harry's actually a bit louder, but he's less grounded, less confident. And then you see that even more to the extreme with Meghan versus Katherine. Katherine is very soft-spoken. She has a very like sort of soft, like gentleness to her that I feel. But it feels like she's like emotionally healthy, like she's a real person. Whereas Meghan has like this like abrasiveness and like I need to be seen to her, but you could see she's incredibly insecure. So I think you see people kind of like at their core have confidence and a bit more groundedness, versus people who are more chaotic and louder.
It was a really nice moment. It was just the two of us, and I think I managed to catch her by surprise as well.
Yeah.
And this is
The
how
thing
long?
I notice also, here's an interesting thing. I notice Harry is looking for Meghan's approval a lot more, which I'm not saying, obviously you want a couple to approve each other, but the difference is I feel like William and Katherine know they approve of each other. So I feel like when William's looking at her and he's making jokes, some of them are self-deprecating, some are teasing her, they tease each other back and forth. It's like knowing glances, like they know they like each other, whereas Harry is looking for Meghan's approval. Like,
No, it was a total shock when it came, and very excited.
And you produced the ring
Yeah.
there and then?
I did, yeah. I'd been carrying it around with me in my rucksack for about 3 weeks before that, and I literally would not let it go. Everywhere I went, I was keeping hold
this
of
is
it.
huge, the ring.
Knew this thing, if it disappeared, I'd be in a lot of trouble. And yeah, because I planned it, it went fine. As you know, you'll hear a lot of horror stories about proposing and things going horribly wrong. It went really, really well, and yeah, I was really pleased that she said yes.
And it's a family.
You know what I
ring.
think too, something about their confidence is both of them are much more willing to admit to be human, but in a good way. So whereas Harry and Meghan have gone to this like victim things, like emotionally vomit at people, the interesting thing is when they're doing their emotional vomiting at people, it's about how they're a victim and things were hard for them, but never about how they as a person made mistakes. I don't know if you noticed that. It's like, I'm perfect. We'll never admit that we've been anything but perfect, but we will talk about all of our hurt feelings, where that's like the worst of all worlds. It's like, hey, you have to listen to my drama and I'm the best person ever, right? It's the worst. Whereas William and Katherine, they do very little complaining. Maybe that's a good way to describe it. But he's willing to admit, like, hey, I was worried about losing the ring. I could lose it. So they're like willing to be like real people who are imperfect, which again, I think makes them happier because it's not, I'm a perfect person and anything that I don't like is because the world is a terrible place and let's all get together and complain about it. It's a lot happier. And let's see about the ring. This is a huge difference.
It is a family ring, yes. It's my mother's engagement ring. So I thought it was quite nice because obviously she's not going to be around to share any of the the fun and excitement of it all. That this was my way of keeping her sort of close to it all.
I guess we better
So
have a look at him.
that was huge. Now, in the Harry and Meghan's interview about the ring, Meghan is just basically blabbering about Diana would have loved her and all this stuff, and
which was absolutely fantastic. So then we were really...
the wrong part, but whatever. But you might have seen it. Like, Meghan's just over the top blabbering about how Diana would have loved her and Harry's saying he would have loved her. So basically it's about his mother who passed away when he was a child, who she has never met. And she's just blabbering away to like how narcissistic. It's like, I'm going to brag about how a woman who passed away, you know, who I never met, would have loved me and we would have been peas in a pod. Whereas what's actually a lot more appropriate is he's speaking of his mother who passed away and Catherine's quiet and empathizing with him. She's not jumping in to like take the moment. Like, you know, it's funny. It really gives so much insight seeing the contrast, because I didn't even pick that up the first time, aside from being ridiculous, but that she's like literally like making him talking about his mother who passed away about her and how great she would have been with the mother. That's crazy versus this support. But thank you for the recommendations, guys. I'll see you soon. Oh, one last thing. I'm starting an email list so that occasionally I'm going to have extra videos or videos that come out early, at least a couple weeks early, and I'll just send them to you. So occasionally I'll have them unlisted so they won't be public. I'll send you guys some videos. Sometimes they will come out later. Sometimes they won't. But at the very least, you'll get them first. Take care.